the second podcast of Her Voice, Her Power, where we celebrate women empowerment. I'm Merve, founder of this podcast and your host. And today I have a very special guest sitting on this chair. Her name is Berna. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, you?
Thank you so much for being here and for making time.
Thanks so much for inviting me and making me part of this beautiful project.
Of course, and thank you so much. But of course, I will invite you because she is also a really good friend of mine. And when she told her story to me, I was really inspired. And I know that a lot of our listeners will inspired and motivated by your story too. So you have to tell me you have a master's degree in communication science.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about it? Why did you choose for that specifically?
Well, for the listeners, I moved to Belgium at the age of 19, and that's when actually my academic career started. First, I've learned Dutch because I wanted to study in Dutch, not English, because I wanted to integrate, and for that, of course, it will be easier if you first learn Dutch and then you go on after that. And during my bachelor degree, I did bachelor's in business. That's when I realized that marketing is really my thing, and that's why I decided to do a master's degree in marketing.
And the thing is, for our listeners, you're born in Bulgaria, so you came to Belgium to study for a master's degree, and I'm sure that you face a lot of challenges. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, life is full of challenges. Those challenges are even bigger if you study abroad. So I would say one example which is on top of mind right now. I've never had issues with giving presentations when I used to live in Bulgaria. But then on my first year, on my bachelor degree, I had to give a presentation and it went terribly wrong, which is perfectly fine. That was my not first challenge, but one of my biggest challenges during my student years, that I was not very comfortable giving presentations in Dutch. So I knew immediately after my first time that the language was the problem. So that's the thing, that you have to know how to handle those challenges. So what's the reason of that challenge? For me, it was the language barrier. And the second part is you have to learn how to make a success out of this challenge. So for me, the solution was to give myself time. So I would prepare, for example, if I had to give a presentation, I would always start ahead of time, like a week, so that I have the time to prepare my text, which is it's not the perfect solution, to write a text and to learn that text, but at the time that was the perfect solution for me. And with the time it became easier. Now I only have, like, per day I write keywords in Dutch, and I had to start like 3 days ahead of time, and so with time you learn how to face those challenges.
But the thing is, you also said preparation. That is also one of the most important things, because that's also my next questions. Do you have advices for our listeners who also struggle in education, or for people who came from another country and are studying in the country that they are in now? Do you have some more advices? I think preparation is a really good one. Do you have other?
Well, the beginning always it's the hardest, because you're scared of that unknown thing. But then if you have the desire, if you have the motivation, and if you have that big goal of achieving something, once you begin, I mean, with hard work, it will happen. I mean, you'll achieve it. Yeah,
for sure.
Then for newcomers, I would say networking is very important, to surround yourself with people who will, of course, help you in that journey. For me, at the beginning, taking notes was very hard because, you know, on my third year in Belgium, during lectures, I was listening to the prof and I was trying to understand and then to find a way to write it so that I can understand it later on. So it's a very long process and I was not good at it, but then at the time being, I had good friends around me that they helped me with notes, and that's the key to success actually, to network and to work hard and to face those challenges.
And I also think to just have an open mindset,
Yeah.
and also to want to learn new things. I think that is really important. And as you said, like making friends,
Yes.
making connections, that is also what makes it really important. And for sure, in educational way,
Yes.
is it really important. Maybe the last question, what are your future plans? What do you want to do with your master's degree?
I really want to work in an international environment. I love just being in, I love traveling.
Yes.
And when you're in an international environment, it's like you travel. Because, people are from around the world, and during lunch break it's like amazing to talk about, for example, Finland, what's their culture, what's their food, and
Yes, for sure.
it's very, yeah.
I think that is one of the most important things when you are in an international environment, that there is a lot of people with different backgrounds, with different cultures, different food, different religion. I think that is really beautiful, that we learn from each other, no matter what your background is, no matter what your age, gender, where you come from, what your education is. We can always learn from each other, and I think that is the most important and beautiful thing. And also, like traveling.
Yeah.
Traveling is. It makes a person so rich, I think.
Yeah.
Not specifically in like cash, but it makes you rich in knowing other cultures.
Yeah, it makes you very open-minded yourself.
Yes, for
So,
sure.
yeah, when you see many cultures, when you learn about their language or the way they do something, for example, it's enriching.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Thank you so much. And the last, in the first episode, I also asked for the favorite quote of my guest, because I am someone who loves quotes. I think those short quotes really inspire and motivate you. And I want to ask, what is your favorite quote?
Because we talk about education, let's say, never stop learning and educating yourself.
Yes.
It's very important. We live in a digital world. Things are changing very fast. What's top of trend today would be, of course, not trend in 10 days, for example. And also issues like, for example, 100 years ago, we didn't have the problem of global warming, but today that's a very big reality. So we have to keep educating ourselves in different topics.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
No, for sure, education is so important, and it's just not about like going to the university. Like, you can also educate yourself in a daily basis, like
Yeah,
when you're
that's
at
true.
home. You can read books, you can just watch informational movies or something like that, and you can really educate yourself, like watching to the journal. I think, as you said, education never stops, and we
Yeah.
learn every day, like even in the little and small things. And the most important thing and beautiful thing is we also learn from each other. As I said, no matter what your background is, we
And it doesn't
always
have
learn.
age. It doesn't have age.
Yes,
It's not like
yes, for
once you
sure.
finish your degree, you stop learning.
Yes.
No, it's
education and learning is a lifetime,
lifelong experience. Yeah, it should be.
for sure. I want to thank you for being here and for sharing your experience, your inspiring story rather, with us. And we will see you in the next episode. Take care.
Bye.